side-splitting, newly created cartoons, spoofing the mysterious, the strange, the unexplained.
Live footage of the Loch Ness Monster!
Okay, we're gonna crank it up a notch.
Loony Judge.
Objection, Your Honor. Badgering the witness. Meanwhile...
The DVDs are loaded with an explosive collection of special features, including interviews with Porky and Taz.
Hey cartoon fans, everyone knows Looney Tunes. It's one of the most recognizable cartoons that has been running in different versions and shows for 90 plus years. Looney Tunes started in the 30s during the golden age of cartoons and was basically an all-in-one cartoon. They did everything, not just the classic Bugs Bunny versus Daffy Duck shenanigans. Each episode and Merry Melody showcased so many different talented artists during the original series, and it was a great, somewhat dated time. After many shows and spin-offs, Looney Tunes was kind of at a standstill during the late 90s and early 2000s with the rise of Y2K in the internet. And with that, Warner Bros. Created a low-budget website that created fun, but of course low-effort webtoons and some new ideas that have become forgotten. And in today's video, I'll be looking back at Looney Tunes' Flash animation era and its physical media created for the webtoons. So with that said, what are Webtoons? Looney Tunes Webtoons was a series of short Flash animated cartoons that were officially released on the Looney Tunes website by Warner Bros. Animation. These were original digital shorts created specifically for the internet, not TV broadcasts. But many of these shorts were put into 2 DVDs that released on the same day in 2003. These Webtoons ran from 2001 through about 2005 and were produced using Adobe Flash, a common animation tool for web content at the time. This allowed short episodes to load quickly in browsers, and on the website at that time there were hundreds of very short 2D animated Looney Tunes sketches that were made, featuring classic Looney Tunes characters and some new themed episodes. Plus, the official series had interactive elements and simple navigation in its original form on the site, though most of these features were removed in the later DVD collections. These 2 DVD releases, Looney Tunes Stranger Than Fiction and Looney Tunes Reality Check, brought some of the Webtoons offline for fans to keep. Speaking of which, let's check out these nostalgic DVDs.
We'll be right back after these important messages.
Look for Looney Tunes Outrageously Funny Reality Check on DVD.
In 2003, Warner Bros. Released 2 DVD editions of their somewhat popular Webtoons that we just talked about. These were both released on the same day in VHS, VCD, and of course DVD options. And the first and lesser known one is Looney Tunes Reality Check, which features 21 of these Flash animation shorts. But unlike our next DVD, these shorts weren't really themed around anything. But it's still crazy, as our description states, quote, "Hold on tight because all your favorite Looney Tunes characters are zooming into head-on collision with the world's most popular reality TV shows." That's right folks, it's time for a reality check. Overflowing with outrageous Warner-style comic mayhem, these all-new tunes spoof TV like you've never seen before. Plus, you'll get a load of exclusive added Gotta Have 'Em DVD bonus features that are positively loony. In this jam-packed volume, Porky and Tweety give you the score and more, with reality show send-ups from Aluminum Chef to Judge Granny. Yep, that's definitely Looney Tunes. So let's check out the main course of this DVD, the Judge Granny segments.
Real cases involving real cartoon characters. All decisions are final.
Something I forgot to mention by now is that these webtoons are short, like 2 to 5 minutes short. So these summaries are pretty small, but in our free court segments with Judge Granny, in which in Judge Judy fashion went all out on Tweety and Sylvester in cagey witness, because Sylvester is suing for damages as Tweety tripped him in his own trap for the bird. And well, so Judge Granny says both are guilty for different reasons, with Tweety being put under house arrest and Sylvester getting the electric chair, which is absolutely wild. In our next segment, justice is served when Wile E. Coyote is suing the Roadrunner for reckless endangerment and negligence, and also because he can never catch the Roadrunner. In a crazy turn of events, Granny sides with the coyote because it's been so long and he never got to catch the Roadrunner. And so Wild Coyote gets the chance to, and he fails to get the Roadrunner in our ending. And in our last and even stranger segment, we got Elmer Fudd suing Daffy Duck for just annoying him at his home. But Daffy refused to leave, so he is trespassing. But then during court, Daffy flips it on Fudd, counter-suing him for trespassing on his own property. This makes no sense. And well, Fudd pulls out a shotgun and just shoots him, leading to Granny siding with no one and has him settle out of court, which makes Daffy Duck break the fourth wall in our crazy ending.
I like him. He's silly.
And that's, in my opinion, the standout episodes of Looney Tunes Reality Check, which, fun fact, had different titles early on, like Looney Tunes Hit Reality during production, which I thought was cool. Anyways, this DVD is fun and the lesser known one out of the two. And well, it's classic Looney Tunes in a new modern style. With that, let's look at the whole reason for this video. The DVD, VHS, VCD, and mini DVD that was released on the same day, Looney Tunes Stranger Than Fiction, which has 19 Webtoon shorts, and our DVD description states, quote, "It's spooky, it's wacky, it's stranger than fiction." Exploding with sheer cartoon craziness, these all-new tunes star your favorite Looney Tunes characters, making big-time fun of everything from mysteriously goofy TV shows to sci-fi movie blockbusters. In this eerily entertaining volume, Porky and Yosemite Sam go creature hunting and end up in Loch Ness mess. Daffy hosts a paranormal TV show featuring everything from the fearsome Mexican goat sucker to crazy crop circles and a Shakespeare spouting Taz. Then Porky and Daffy land in the very odd planet of Taz and discover some even stranger sequel planets, plus more way loony spoofs and shorts full of weirdly wonderful, wonderific fun. Man, does that sound good. And before we look at Daffy Duck's amazing segment, Mysterious Phenomena of the Unexplained, I want to talk to you about how flippin' nostalgic this one is for me and so many of you. It's actually crazy how commonly people remember having this DVD and watching the heck out of it as kids, and I was no different. But here's the thing, it wasn't my DVD, and well, I still don't own that original DVD that I always watched, but I hope to someday. But of course I got my own copy to rewatch for this video, and it is very nostalgic. But it's only nostalgic for those who grew up with it. For everyone else, these episodes are just low quality Looney Tunes, which yeah, they are, but there's something with them that sticks with me and many others today. And personally, I think it's because of the first segment of this DVD, Mysterious Phenomena of the Unexplained, hosted by Daffy Duck, which we'll be looking at today. And nostalgia aside, these webtoons in general were quite decent. Nothing compared to the classic shorts, but they still had fun with the low budget style, and I think it's still fine for what it is. We got 7 episodes to look at, and they are all pretty interesting to say the least. These released in 2001 and 2002, parroting old 1970 horror shows that search for cryptids and monsters. These episodes are hosted by, of course, Daffy Duck, along with Porky Pig, and each episode explores a different conspiracy. So let's look at them. In episode 1, Suffer in Sasquatch, we see the Sylvester family get attacked by Bigfoot in 1937, which cuts us over to our host Daffy Duck as he uncovers the
Mysterious phenomena of the unexplained.
who explains that the present-day Sylvester and his son are out as bait for Sasquatch, while Sasquatch Sam hunts the Bigfoot down by dressing as one, which Daffy says is how we get all those fake Bigfoot encounters. But while he's talking smack about the Sasquatch, Bigfoot appears in the studio and gets him. Then in episode 2, Who Wants to Be a Martian Heir?, our host of
Mysterious phenomenon of the unexplained.
Daffy Duck interviews a nutcase, Elmer Fudd, who claims that he saw a real alien, as we see a reenactment in which Mr. Fudd plays a game show inside Marvin the Martian's UFO, and this whole thing is as great as it looks. In the end, he gets everything wrong and gets lasered over and over again until the laser hits Daffy Duck back at the studio. And so Mr. Fudd finally wins and he gets a home version of Who Wants to Be a Martian Air, which lasers him. In our third episode, Loch Ness Mess, Daffy and Porky Pig show us live footage of the Loch Ness Monster. With that not being the Loch Ness Monster, Daffy Duck goes to Scotland himself, and him and a Scottish version of Yosemite Sam search for Nessie, with some scam artist antics on Sam's part. Very much like classic Looney Tunes in this one, but with the added search for a cryptid. And so after Daffy maxes out his credit card, they both come across Nessie as he is a golfer. And throughout the episode, he was yelling 4 and hitting Daffy with golf balls. What a strange ending. In episode 4, Cropsy Curvy, Daffy Duck gives us an emergency broadcast in which he explains that crop circles are appearing everywhere, but in reality it's Bugs Bunny digging around, and we see him go after Elmer Fudd's pie while he's watching Daffy Duck's show where he's warning about extraterrestrial. And well, when he finds Bugs Bunny, he looks a lot like an extraterrestrial. So he gets him. Mr. Fudd calls for help, but he realizes Bugs was just playing with him until a real UFO shows up, and we see that Bugs Bunny was an alien this whole time.
It's a nice planet to visit, but I wouldn't want to live here.
In episode 5, the Bermuda Short, this one is a classic Tweety and Sylvester episode, but with a twist, as Daffy, in his bathtub, explains that the crew are going into the Bermuda Triangle. And this episode is a fever dream. I literally can't explain what's going on. They go to space, back on the boat, and then have a Scrooge moment with ghosts and Back to the Future type gags, with the mysterious phenomena of the unexplained music in every different sequence, bringing us to each weird encounter. Then the ship hits an iceberg, and with that, we're out of the triangle. It's crazy. In episode 6, The Taming of Screwball, in this one, Daffy tells us about how he met a ghost. We see him, Porky, and Taz as they want to put on a bad play to get money or something, and they get Taz to do Shakespeare, which makes the actual Shakespeare roll in his grave and wake up. And so the ghost of Shakespeare casts a spell to make Taz actually good, and well...
What is in a name? That which we call a rose by any other word would smell.
And that's not good for Daffy, as he wants a bad show, so he turns into a wizard, and him and Shakespeare continuously cast spells to make Taz good, then bad, then good, then bad, and after all that, Shakespeare makes Daffy go into drag to end this very awful show.
That, my dear folks, will be all.
And all of this nonsense leads us to episode 7, El Chupacabra. In this one, the mysterious phenomena of the unexplained crew go to Mexico to hunt down the Chupacabra. What was that? While Daffy is on vacation, he uses Porky as bait to catch the goat sucker. But while he does that, Daffy gets attacked by the monster, but just thinks he's a local. And well, it's another classic Looney Tunes time with many fun moments, but it's nothing wild. And that concludes our 7 very strange, very unexplained phenomena. And most of them are very interesting and fun. It's something like the best of Looney Tunes, but in my and others who grew up up with it opinion, it's very, very good. There's so many references and funny gags sprinkled into these shorts. And throughout the DVD, there's so many other great shorts, like a pizza delivery episode that takes place at Daffy's mansion and feels a lot like an episode of the Looney Tunes show. In one episode that takes place in a gym in which Daffy Duck gets swole, which once again feels like an episode straight out of the Looney Tunes show. And it's great. And fun fact, many fans remember these webtoons fondly because they were sometimes the only new Looney Tunes content available online at the time, outside of old show reruns on TV networks. And today, the original Flash files and the site itself have mostly vanished after the Flash was discontinued in 2005. But all the webtoons survived, mainly via archive websites or fan uploads on platforms like YouTube, which is how many of you guys probably watch these. But getting the DVDs is the best option because there's so many cool special features, including even shorter shorts and some games and such. Anyways, personally, the Stranger Than Fiction DVD of the Webtoons era of Looney Tunes is super nostalgic to me, and I hope this video sheds some light on this otherwise forgotten era of the cartoon giant known as Looney Tunes. And anyways, cartoon fans, what do you think about these DVDs and Webtoons? Have you watched any of these? Were you around for the original era, or did you, like me, have one of the two DVDs and watched it all the time, and not knowing that this was a very strange era for Looney Tunes? Let me know everything you think down in the comments below, and thank you guys so much for watching. I don't think this video is gonna perform well, so make sure to like and consider subscribing to join this cartoon community. And that's all for today's video. See ya!
Yes? Well? Eat your heart out, Burt Reynolds.